Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between Two Peers, a live stream show where the hosts invite a guest from around the known world to answer your pressing questions about life, the universe, and everything. And we mean everything. This week is sponsored by Spiked Hot Cocoa, because even when being a sweet cinnamon roll, having a touch of sass is always good. I can totally get with that. My name is Tulia Alori. I am a Laurel from the West Kingdom and a court baroness, because right now I'm wearing my fancy coronet. I don't know why I felt the need to dress up for today's episode. I've been in the SCA since I was 15, and that was a long time ago. So I feel like I've practically been raised in the SCA. And one of the things that we enjoy doing, of course, during this time of quarantine is trying to keep our interests and our excitement about the SCA going. And I'm hoping that this show is actually helping with that. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this on to my lovely co-host, Helga.
Hi, I'm Helga. I'm a knight, a royal peer, and a pelican from the West Kingdom. And tonight I got reminded that my husband has been fighting longer than I have been alive. He's fucking old.
He is not old. If he's old, that makes me old-ish.
I can't say anything there. So, with no further ado, I would love to introduce our amazing guest tonight, Baron Konstantia. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. I'm Baron Konstantia Kaloethina. I live in the kingdom of Calontir, the kingdom that sings. I'm a herald, sometimes bard, and I love doing scribbles, so kind of all of the above. And yeah, that's just a little tiny bit about me.
All right, with that, I'm going to remind everybody of the drinking game. There are updated rules, and, things are ever-changing because we're trying to keep the show interesting for all of you. The drinking game. Drink when a host or guest uses a non-SCA name when referring to somebody else. I would like to note that Konstantia has cheated by placing their mundane name in the Zoom box. This is bait. Drink when somebody's pet appears on camera. Drink when somebody calls for a soapbox. And audience, you know that you can also call us on going off on a soapbox. Drink when somebody refers or uses the term as spite sprinkles or touching toe beans. Also, for tonight, our guest rule is...
anytime bling gets mentioned.
Ooh.
Because it's a Byzantine thing, okay?
There we go. So with that, we're going to... Also, I would like to note that me typing right now is really funny because I can't use my thumb and my whole hand is like this. So it's just, please forgive me if I'm over here just like...
We'll get into why her hand is in a cast
at some point,
show, I'm sure.
So with that, shall we go into the guest questions, Miss Sassy?
We certainly shall. And first one, this is the ones we now have figured it out after 30 odd episodes to ask our guests specifically questions about them that showcase their history with the SCA. We're slow, but we're cute. So guest specifically, this is hosts, that's us, to you, that's you, guest. How did you find the SCA?
So I found the SCA when a friend in college went, I need help documenting something. And I just looked at him and went, what? And he's like, yeah, I need help researching. You're good at researching, right? And I went, well, yeah. And then and I'm like, why am I researching Mongolian names? No shit, there I was. And so he proceeded to tell me, and took a little bit after that. And I went, hey, this sounds like fun. I want to go do this thing. Well, fast forward about a year, and I found myself going to a fighter practice, and the rest, as they say, is history.
And is it ever?
Yes, very much so.
That was my dorky attempt at a joke. Like I'm an actual... you know what? So we watched Frost Nixon like a couple of days ago.
Oh, yeah.
I think I have like the interviewer, persona going. And is it ever?
I am from Kansas City. I'm from the land of Walter Cronkite.
I know, right? Okay, so next question. How about you, Helga?
The next question comes from Asa. How did you meet Carmack, and what is your favorite story about your friendship?
So I met Carmack while we were doing decision meetings for the College of Arms. For those people who don't know, decision meetings are where we have looked at all of the evidence that, or basically what people have provided for their names, and there's a group of us that help make decisions, or help further refine the arguments for why or why not arms should be registered. And I met Cormac through that. And we became Principal Heralds together. We became tyrant and benevolent dictator of the College of Heralds Imaginary, which is the unofficial humor wing of the College of Arms. And he is like my favorite person on the face of the planet, or one of my favorite people on the face of the planet. I think my favorite story was, oh God, I've got so many. Everything from helping him get dressed at an event at a known world Heraldic, which, hey, you're my friend. You want to help me get into a hoopalong? And I'm like, sure, whatever, Cormac. Let's go ahead and just, yeah. We've done a whole bunch of stuff together, and I love, he's one of my favorite people. So
just so everyone knows who may be just tuning in, out of did not caught all of the episodes, Cormac was our guest on episode 22. So go back and watch that and have a little bit of context, and he's certainly a very cool person.
Definitely.
Okay, I may finish writing this comment on the YouTube channel.
On the YouTube?
Well, and actually, I've got one additional bit. I was at a known world Heraldic symposium with my really a group of people I have come to love and adore, the Four Horsemen of the College of Arms. It's Cormac, Ryan McWhite, who lives in the East Kingdom, and Kameshma Zintoro Umakai of Aethelmark, and me. And we were all on the elevator, and it was a glass enclosed elevator, and we were in Meridier's, and we were scaring a hotel full of Mormons and high schoolers. And we heard our friend Wu go, "Stop screwing around on the elevator," and that's kind of stuck. Yeah, so.
I mean, it's not really like a SCA convention unless you're at a hotel with like a really conservative Christian group.
Right, exactly. So
I was about to say, I just thought it wasn't a SCA convention at a hotel unless we were trying to see if we could hit the max capacity of that elevator.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Oh, we were basically like, yeah. We were just being weirdos, and it was the best fun we've ever had.
It's always good times being a weirdo. I mean,
all right, we ready for the next one?
Yes. So this is from us to you, Constance. What drives your passion and love for the scribal and elimination arts in the SCA? You said you have opinions. Well, let's hear them.
So I love the research. I love the chase of finding really cool pieces of art. Mm-hmm. A lot of what drives me is how much smaller can I get this piece of scribal work? I've literally done scrolls the size of postage stamps because I'm insane. But it really is the chase. It is, pushing my own personal boundaries. And that isn't to say that I won't take a break on doing things, but that's one of my favorite parts of doing scribal arts in the SCA. And on top of that, as a left-handed scribe, there's always an additional layer of challenge right there. Mm-hmm. So no, it's part of the reason why I love it so much.
I think actually one of the things. So we've known each other online for probably over a year. It's not been that long, maybe 2 years. But one of the things that I remember initially being like, oh my God, this person can fucking art, is you did like a tiny little elimination. And I
actually might have that nearby. Give me just like half a moment here.
Go for it.
But no, it is literally the size of a trading card.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Magic the Gathering size card.
and hey, guess what? I do have it nearby. Yep, got it. There it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the one with was it the butterflies?
Yeah, with the butterfly, yeah.
Yeah, I
was
love
about to say, that is the size of a magic card.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, oh my God, art. It's fabulous. And I think I gushed and probably weirded you out a little bit.
That's really cool.
I love and what I love the most is that is something that is actually not on display at my local museum. But you know, I'm pretty sure I've scared some curator with. Yeah, so I did this piece of art. I have some questions about it. Do you happen to know if it's gold leaf or if it's shell gold? And yeah, I'm pretty sure I've scared a curator a little bit. But
I was gonna say, it's not you haven't gone to a museum with Sassy until Sassy has set off the alarms trying to get too close
no,
to
done
the
that.
artwork.
I did that once, and
I've done it so
had
many
to leave.
It was actually the really cool thing about, like, so we all got to go do a trip. We did a Mediterranean trip, and we discovered that if you go to like the little itty bitty shitty museums that don't have complete pieces, and shitty in quotes, I say that really like that was a poor wording choice.
Mm-hmm.
Smaller museums with less security, they'll let you handle the objects. Like Sassy and I swear to God, they had to pull us out of pottery.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're just like,
was that
they
the one
painted the inside of this? What?
That was
like,
on
like the poor security guard is just like follow the Americans around their
exactly.
things.
This was Santorino? No.
Santorini, the one with the blue yeah,
I know exactly what. Yeah.
When we found like
Santorini,
Euro, like they only had like 5 or 6 pieces.
And
like
there were
little itty bitty places where
3 people
were
in
paying
it, and
way too much to get in there, but we didn't care.
And Helga, and like we're all a face like pressed up against every glass that we could put, and everyone is just like, "Who the fuck are these Americans?" Like,
no, I have done
Persiplex.
One of the really cool things about my hometown museum is they actually have a cloister that they.
Oh, that's cool.
And I have basically told, I don't know how many people, I am showing up in 14th century and I'm doing, I'm going to do some art here. And there's going to be some museum guard who's just going to go, who are you? So I'm prepared for this.
They're one of my life dreams, and we're kind of diverging a little bit from the questions at hand, but that is the show. So if you're new to this, buckle up. This is kind of 95% of what we do. But the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, and in fact in Caid, where Los Angeles is located, I'm gesturing behind me because that's Southern California. This is Northern California, that's Southern California. So Caid, the Kingdom of Caid has the Getty Museum, and they have the Roman Villa, which is not located. I've been to the actual Getty itself, but I've never been to the Roman Villa. But there have been SCA type events, and I say type because I'm not sure if they're actual SCA events, but many of our SCA friends have done them at the Roman Villa, and I'm like, that is on a bucket list.
Right?
Whoa. So, yeah. All right, moving on.
All right, the fourth and final guest question, and then we get to go into all sassing each other. This one comes from Bjorn. What is the worst good faith argument you've ever heard over a person's charge on their device? Not that they were being obtuse or deliberately hurtful or hateful, but honestly thought they were were best personified by, a rampant cock or
Dumbo,
a cock
rampant,
or
a cock.
So I hear a lot of these. I think my favorite is, but it's period. There are lots of things that are period. We still don't do them. White lead, totally period. I'm not going to slather it on my face. And the same thing kind of goes for heraldry too. Like cock and balls, is a period heraldic charge. We see it in the arms of a particular gelder, showing his wares, if you will. And it may be period, but unfortunately, we live in the United States, which is puritanical as fuck, whether we like it or not.
Don't like it.
So, So, as a result, there are lots of things that are period, and that is probably like the best, worst, or the worst, best that argument that I've seen on for reasons why we should allow stuff and we may not. So.
Oh my God, Carmack is being sassy in the
What else is new?
Can I register a vagina dentata? I don't know, Carmack. Can I?
The former Wreath King of Arms should know the answer to that one.
Yeah.
I'm just
saying, I see you. And actually, I've had a couple of people message me after that and was like, I think we can figure out how to blazon it. And I'm like, okay. But yeah.
You blazon it, I'll draw it on something.
Oh, yeah, no, I have no problems drawing it, but good luck trying to get that to be registered. And I hate telling people, it's worth a shot, but on the other hand, there are some things where it's like, okay, unfortunately, this is one of those things that you are welcome to try it. I'm not going to hold my breath. I will help you come up with alternates to this, but
yeah. It's for me, it's a joke. It's just actually kind of funny, and I want to just be funny with it. And
right, exactly.
Yeah. It's not.
No, totally get it.
This is my device. That whole thing, it was very easy to pass.
No, and don't get me wrong. I love having fun with heraldry. My arms are a blue background with a white serif with blocks of white and black around it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a badge that is a blue background and the white and black blocks around it, and it's sans serif.
I got that joke.
So Anna and I will occasionally it'll come up on our memories. There's an entire GIF about it.
Actually, what's really funny is she's commenting in the comments on YouTube, and she says, "Here comes the sans serif joke."
It's like she knows. But yeah, no, that is. And when I tell people about it, they're just like, "What is wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Well, there's lots. Where do we start?" And I literally just got a text from my significant other with "boo."
So my motto is literally "Lorem ipsum dolor." Damn it.
Yes.
And that, nobody who doesn't, if you're not a graphic designer or have
you don't get it.
That's filler text. It's literally gibberish, but it's filler. Yes. So yeah, that's my motto. I get you, man. I get you. All right. So, oh God. And then Anna's now like, God damn it, Tulia, you didn't know that? Oh my gosh. That's my favorite fun fact about me. Anyways, let's move on. I'll ask question. Here's a Helga.
Drink.
Helga, just, oh God, this is what this episode's going to be like.
Oh, it totally is.
I'm in
a every episode,
terribly good mood. I would like to note I've been making fun of myself opening flavor packets all day. I'm actually in a good mood.
Can we take a moment then and ask you, why is your arm in a cast?
Because I got hit in a parking lot in my truck.
Okay. It's a very unglamorous reason.
It's a super unglamorous thing. One, if anybody out there is not carrying insurance on their car while they're driving, I will hunt you down.
Also,
she was a very nice 19-year-old kid who pulled out of a parking spot way too fast and hit my parked truck next to her.
Oh, I thought you were behind her.
No,
I thought you were
it was one of those where you're parked like this, so it's the parallel parking, but it's offset, and she was here, and then just went boonk, but she floored it bad enough that she twisted my bumper, screwed up the back quarter panel, and scooted the truck.
Did they total your truck?
Oh God, no! It's not. The frame's not bad. Okay, they're just gonna do a couple $1,000 worth in fixing on it. But I was hanging onto my iPad in this hand, and you would think that I hang onto a shield in this hand all the time, it would be fine. But how my iPad got pulled out of my hand in the process, possibly ruptured the tendon in my thumb. So I get to be like this until they either decide the tendon is ruptured or I'm healed. One of the two.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. Yeah. It happened on your birthday too. That's some bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Also I wanted to say, if you're not carrying UIM insurance, you should definitely carry it.
Oh yeah. Carry UIM insurance. Always have UIM insurance.
Sassy and Danger Muppets advice on car insurance. Always carry UIM. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Next one is from Catherine. If your persona / artistic style was a flavor, what flavor would it be?
Exotic. So in terms of my SCA style, I am so welcome to Byzantium. It's a color, it matches. Sartorial riot. So it is, I guess, an everything bagel would be the best way that I could describe it, sans the bagel part.
You guys have Trader Joe's in?
Yes. Oh my! I have one 5 minutes with away from my house. I can walk there.
So I was gonna say they have that like a spice thing. Everything. But the bagel. Everything but the bagel.
Everything but the bagel.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, it's a color. It matches. And in terms of like my artistic sort of thing, I do art, man. That's probably the best way that I could put it. I don't know if I really have a style. I clearly have a style, but I have a really hard time describing it. So
cool. Helga.
So have you ever had the sour cherry salt?
Salt? No.
Oh yeah. So next time you're at the house when we can all gather again, I have a bin of it, and it's sour cherry flavored salt.
That sounds amazing.
It is really, you can put it on pretty much everything. It's not really good on red meat, but like on chicken or like vegetables or something like that. Crap. It gives it's a little tart, but also you get that like satisfaction of the salt. And it's delightful. It's also really strangely good in coffee.
Yeah, I'll bet.
I could see that.
That was accidental, by the way.
Yeah.
You make imagine that with a margarita.
Oh, yeah. No, it's like on the lip of a margarita or like a sweet drink. It is.
Where do you get such a thing?
I need this.
Oh, yeah.
So, rain gifts are amazing.
Yeah. I bet.
Sorry, there's some stuff like I discovered my love of bath salts raining.
Not like the drug bath salts. Not like
we should specify this.
Like the kind you actually put in a bathtub.
Like the kind you put in a bathtub. Don't consume bath salts ever. That's a dumb idea anyways.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yes. Don't do drugs that'll make you eat somebody's face.
Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I could go into the whole thing because
this is going to be one of those weird shows.
Oh, it's going to be really weird. I didn't intend it to be weird. I thought I was going to come to this being very like laid back and professional, but apparently this is the Sassy is going to get weird show. So
you know what?
It's because I love you so much, Constance.
Yeah, I love you too.
I don't get weird with just anybody.
You know what? I'll take it.
Okay, good. Wait. Oh, I have to answer the question now too. Okay, so if my artistic style was a flavor, I would say it's probably like frosting, because I can make you the cake, and the cake is what you wear, but what I put on it, like the embellishment, that's frosting. So I'm gonna go with you'll taste the frosting. The persona or passion. Wait, what was it? Sorry, persona artistic. Okay, persona is probably salty as fuck. Salty and really spicy. I don't know. I was gonna be like Old Bay, but that's not spicy enough. It is salty though.
Oh no.
So yeah, it'll be polar opposites in flavor. Like I'll make you look like a pretty little cupcake, but I'm going to also blow your taste buds off with the spicy saltiness of everything. So, wasabi. Seonji Nohana just gave me the right flavor right there. Wasabi, exactly. That's my persona flavor is wasabi, and also wasabi looks like frosting. So. You never know what you're gonna get, right? All right, Helga, next question.
Let me get to the right close. I was trying to like panic reopen tabs because I've managed to close my own tabs a couple times today like an idiot. So this one comes from Lady Runa. What, in your opinion, are the elements that make up really excellent top quality arms, and what elements most often inspire cringe?
So for me, I prepare for the soapbox, because here we go. Drink.
Yay.
So I am really fond, even though I don't personally have field primary heraldry, that is no charges. You just have field divisions and whatnot. I think that makes a really striking device. But simplicity. I mean, like, it really just boils down to simplicity. There are people going, well, you know, if I throw more stuff onto it, maybe I'll have a higher chance of it being registered or something like that. And I kind of have to tell people, it's more than just that. Like, if you go with a criminally underused charge, like pantheons, they are animals that look like deer with a fluffy foxtail, and they're covered in stars. They're really cool, but we don't use a whole lot of them in the SCA. And you know, as a result, they're, you know, because we don't have a whole lot of them registered in the SCA, you know, but everyone's got a lion or everyone's got that sort of thing. And those are harder to register because we've got so many of them. There's plenty of heraldic space out there. So I kind of hope that answers that part of that question. As for things that are cringe inducing, I hate seeing paw prints. I really do. I hate seeing things that are resume heraldry. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen people go, I am an archer, I'm a cook, I do all of these things, and I want them all represented onto my arms. And your arms should really just represent you. They should represent not who you are or what you do, but you. So, you know, it's a symbol, basically. My heraldry has a seraph on it. It's actually a cant, a heraldic joke, a heraldic pun. My persona's last name is Kaloethina, which is derived from of good character. So it is a joke on that, if you will. So no, I really do. It basically boils down to, I want to see more simple heraldry in the SCA. So
I think mine is rainbows, and I'm sorry. Every time rainbows, God, there's so many, and I don't want to insult anybody, so I'm just going to go with rainbows. And I'm sorry if you're hurt because you have a rainbow on your charge, but you do you. I am not judging you. I am not saying that's bad. I am not saying it's not, period. I'm just saying, like, okay, cool.
I mean, they are, period. I mean,
they
that
are,
is
period.
the nice.
It's just that oftentimes what you see, and this is the thing, it's kind of one of those, I guess this is a new term I just learned thanks to you, which is resume
Yes.
device or charge or whatever, where it's usually a rainbow in conjunction with like 3 other things, like a unicorn and a butterfly and a rose.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, those are all really,
we get it. You like My Little Pony.
I love My Little Pony, but here's where I come from. And so my original device is not this bad thing right up here, bad boy, this bad boy. It was more complicated. It was still fairly simplistic in terms of it wasn't like, didn't include like a lot of different things, but it was nowhere near as just simple as something that I could rattle off in, like, you know, 10 words. But one of the things I realized, though, after that device passed, was that heraldry was meant to be seen on a battlefield at a distance. And if you can't identify who that fucker was coming at you with a spear, from, 200 yards away, you are SOL. So what I did when I got my get out of jail free card, when I got my laurel. So for those who aren't aware, when you are elevated to a peerage with your patent, kind of comes with a get out of jail free card, which is where you get to resubmit your name and your heraldry if they are, if you haven't done it, or if it's insufficient, or you don't like it anymore, it doesn't represent who you are, etc. You don't have to pay the money to get all of that stuff changed. So when I got my get out of jail free card, I changed my name from Sarah Widville to Tulia Alori, and I changed my device to this thing back here, the cross flurry. and it was because I realized in my, thinking about all of this, like heraldically and historically, that heraldry was really you were supposed to be able to identify somebody from way the fuck away. And so as simple as possible and as easily read as possible, what are like colors that really pop against one another? And that's why we have all these rules about like, you can't put, red and green together. It's got to be red and a metal color like white or yellow. There's certain workarounds there, but like
and we do have those workarounds depending on, like, Italian heraldry actually has a lot of red on top of green, which is bizarre. I've got literally entire albums of weird shit I found in armorial dives that I've done. It's like, well, this looks like Tuscany proper. It is, and it's literally overly figural for SCA heraldry, but it worked for Italy.
Yeah. And apparently, as I'm reading the comments, Carmack just popped in and was like, what the fuck about the name change, device change thing when you get your peerage?
Yeah.
Maybe it is just a West Kingdom thing.
It is a West Kingdom thing.
Okay, because we get our like, you get a
deal. It is a West Kingdom thing.
Oh yeah, because I've got 3 that I could use, and I might at some point.
Yeah, well, I think you only get one. You actually only get one. It's you don't get to like keep changing it as you get.
Let me live my terrible dream.
Okay, your terrible dream is valid, and I see you.
I would also like to note that Keen figured out how to register and pass Danger Muppet.
Then wait, as a name.
That's awesome. I got told about this the other day, and I was just
I'm really
that's
thinking
amazing.
that I need to do that paperwork and just get it done.
I mean, it's great to.
Helga,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can have up to 10 alternate names and 10 alternate heraldic designs. So
I have a alternate heraldic design that I need to submit and a badge that I need to submit, so I might as well just do them all at once because Carmack was amazing and just drew them up for me, and Keen has done all the language, and my lazy ass just hasn't submitted it yet.
Yeah, just submit it. I mean,
yeah.
Cool. All right, Helga, what's yours?
So what I think is like elements that make up a really excellent top quality arms, whatever makes you happy that you can do, actually. So I'm going to speak on like a personal level is, I think that you should design a set of arms that you yourself can recreate in a visual sense. So if you need to make something that's like hardlined and you know how to use CAD or Paint Shop Pro, great. Make arms that you can recreate within that series and system. If you're like a high-end artist and then can do the multiple field, or the multiple charges on a, varying field and everything else like that, and you know how to make that pop from the far side of the field, go with that. Like, because really heraldry is about visual recognition, and part of it is you can screw up any visual recognition when you don't separate the items well enough. And somebody that knows how to separate the items can do a more complex thing. And so I would say that build to your artistic aesthetic and something that you can promote. I'm huge on the big bold colors and big bold charges. Like, I have a black horse head as my charge for a reason. Big, large. I can put that like on easily on things. What do I think elements that most often inspire cringe is small, simple, like or small, overly complicated things. So I try to talk a lot of people into making their charges like, so you can pass your device and then you get like artistic rain with your device. And I always try to talk people into like, cool, once you've passed it, make your charge eat the field mostly, like get rid of most of your field. And so when somebody does like mostly field and then this itty bitty little charge on there, I think that's what I'm just like, I want to be like, be bold, go bold. Think like you're drawing with crayons at distance. Large.
And that's actually something that we talk about within maybe not when we want submitters, we really like big, bold, and butch is how we put it. We like really big charges because it really is a matter of, can you see that shit across the field? Can you? Yeah, in heraldry it was more than just that, but it was a large part of that. So,
yeah, I mean, and as you get further and further into towards the end of our historical scope in the SCA, you do get things that you can't do in the SCA,
Right.
like all of the divisions. And
Or even outside of the SCA uses a set of rules that's derived off of Anglo-Norman heraldry. There are other places like Japan or I was going to say, although Japan is really good about contrast, it is light and dark. But places like Hungary or Germany or Italy are really weird about low contrast. Like there's one coat of arms that has like a gold peacock on a white background, and you can't see that. I mean, like, but it's gorgeous, but yeah, you can't see it.
I was about to say, that's when you black outline the peacock with like
right,
quarter inch.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
And that'll make that pop. Sorry, artist brain went off there.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
So in a past life, I was a graphic designer. And so I always come at it from like, well, what is easy to read?
Right.
Like visually, what is the visual, like, you know, you've got something that's very, very straightforward to read. And then I also have my like personal issue with remembering things. So I like simplicity so I can remember it in as few words as possible. Because
right.
But when I was but a wee apprentice, my Laurel said one of the things that she required was I had to know the basics of like how heraldry worked, but I had to know how to blazon my own arms, and I had a really complicated one at the time, and that might be why I switched as soon as I got elevated. I was like, okay, touche. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
All right, we ready for the next question?
Sure thing.
Okay, this one comes from me.
Ooh.
What, if anything, would you change about the heraldic establishment in the SCA, and why?
Oh, okay. So I will go ahead and preface this by saying that the heraldic establishment has really come a long way since whenever we started doing heraldic registration. It has really, really, really come a long way. As in, we went from a point where everyone was waiting for literally, could be years, to have their arms, because we were doing it by mail, to where we are now, where it takes about 9 months. 9 months is still what is a lot of time, or, you know, it doesn't seem like, or it seems like it's still a pretty long time, but given that you've got volunteers who may not have quite the knowledge base, like, you know, Scythian, Helga, you're really into Scythian culture, but we may not have a Scythian names expert. So I think the biggest thing that I would love to see within the heraldic establishment is people volunteering, and it kind of boils down to SCA. You know, I'd like to see more people volunteering. Like, if you know stuff, tell a herald. We are always looking for people who know stuff and who can educate us. Now, that being said, I would love to see people within the heraldic community go, okay, no, you actually know this. And I've seen some friction between that. But yeah, that is something that I'd like to see. And I get that scholarship is hard, and we deal with a lot of weird personality bits, but no, like everything else in the SCA, if this is something that you want, volunteer for it. I actually have seen this multiple times. Like, we have people begging for gender neutral titles. And I think that they're critically important. I'm non-binary myself. I use Baron quite a bit, even though that is very much a gendered title. I have a Byzantine persona that Greek is a very gendered language. So I at any point, I get people wanting us to come up with more gender neutral titles, but the thing is the scholarship just isn't there. We don't have people who are willing to actually go on the deep dives and find stuff. So if that's something that you want to do, please help us. If that is something that you think we need, yeah, you know, we know that we need this. We are fully aware that we need this. We're not, we need volunteers because the heralds that we have already stretched really thin. So.
I think my brain again is dialed into the visual right now. And I think for me, one of the things I'd like to see, and I know that the SCA does have these conventions that are known amongst heralds, but I'd like to see it just disseminated further of like a real good database of shit you should not put on a charge. Like, I really want to see something concrete that a new person wants to create you know, a device and is looking for a place to start, and I would like to say, here are all of the lovely resources we have. Also, here's this resource that says don't put a swastika. You know? Or don't
so we actually
yeah, I know
we
it
actually do
exists, but where? And I can never find it.
Right.
That's the hard part. So,
and that's that unfortunately we don't. That is actually an SCA problem. Like none of our information is in a central location. Like if I want to go find stuff on marshalling, I have to go to a completely different website. If I want to find stuff on arts and sciences and where to get started, that's on a completely different website.
It's it's information architecture issue that is really always been a problem with the internet and the SCA. The SCA has historically and I've gone on this rant so many times on the show, but you know, I started in the very early stages of the internet age. That's when I started the SCA, and so I have watched the SCA just get dragged kicking and screaming onto the internet, and then kicking and screaming into social media, and kicking and screaming the whole time does not want to do it. And so we lag massively. It would be,
we totally do.
And so one of the hardest parts is getting a clearinghouse for all of this information that is easy to navigate. All the information is there. Like you said, if I want the Marshall Handbook, I can go click on this thing at sca.org/Marshall Handbook. Or if I want the Heraldic Handbook, I can go to sca.org/Heraldic Handbook. And then it's all there. It's not like I've got to dig through every and all the kingdoms and all this stuff. It is a massive undertaking. I understand why it hasn't happened. I understand the amount of energy and the amount of resources that it would take to do something like that. But God, I wish it happened. I wish it existed.
Well, and for every person that complains about something, you know, we've got more people complaining about something than are willing to volunteer. And this is where I go. In a past life, I grew up in the nonprofit sector. My mother of blessed memory was worked in a hospital, and I got volunteered for a lot of shit. Let me tell you. But as a result of that, I've looked at volunteer management, and we suck at it in the SCA. I literally teach a class on this, and I've got in my blog. I actually have several articles about volunteer management and how critical it is.
Well, plug your blog. What's your blog?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My blog is Kaloethina at wordpress.com. I will probably put that in the chat somewhere or elsewhere, because I get my SCA last name is hard as balls to spell. So, but no, that is one of those things that volunteer management is so critical, and we kind of ignore best practices of other successful nonprofits, and there's no reason why we should.
I used to work
soapbox.
I see your soapbox and I recognize your soapbox. I used to work for one of the world's largest nonprofits, community foundation, and we're talking monetarily wise. And trust me, if they can figure out how to do this shit, we can too.
Pretty much. Like there's no reason to reinvent.
But we're doing it on it's all volunteer. Yeah, so are they.
Red Cross has been doing volunteer service for how long now?
At least since the First World War.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it? It was somebody will chime in. Crimean War, something like that. Anyway.
But they've literally been doing volunteer service longer than we've since we've had members barely twinkles. So I'm super salty about this.
I get you. And I have been drinking to your soapbox for like many minutes now.
Well, with the level of salt that's just been thrown, I did just hear something. She says, hi.
Hello, Lady of the Lake.
Oh, I would like to note there's sticky notes all over the lake right now. all over
I would
it.
also like to note that you didn't answer the question, Helga.
I was seeing if I could get away with that.
Let the
Apparently
record-
not.
I'll answer it after this.
That's fine.
I couldn't decide if I wanted to ask a serious question or not. ...
Mm.
Ooh, what's your favorite art medium for SCA and then for fun?
Okay, so that's a really good question. Oh, there's more.
There's
Oh.
always-
Oh my god, she asked multiple questions. Okay, so answer that one and then I'll ask you the next one.
Okay.
Okay. So my favorite medium for SCA is gouache. I have started making my own gouache. Yeah, I love making paint. It is almost meditative. As for my favorite medium outside the SCA, acrylic paint. Although I use watercolor and gouache as well. So yeah, those are my two favorites.
I love that word.
So I'll
Gouache.
answer. So for SCA, my favorite medium is totally acrylic, even though it's not period. It is what I do all my shields in though, because shields are disposable art, and I'm not gonna spend a shit ton of money to destroy something within 6 months.
Yep.
So, and for fun, I'm also gonna say acrylic, unless you count like favorite art medium as a horse, because then that would be my favorite art medium. But yeah, also I've gotten into like bone painting now.
Isn't that fun? Sorry.
I'm all over this. Like,
I love
just
it.
loving it.
Remind me to show you the tiny icon I made. It is literally this big.
Yeah.
And I carved the bone. I did the gilding on it. It's awesome.
You guys can
Yes.
also subscribe to Konstantia's beautiful Instagram, where
Mhm.
Yeah.
there's a lot of this stuff. So.
I stalk her all the time.
Okay. So for me, it's fabric. It's fabric in both. Fabric's my medium in the SCA. It's my medium outside the SCA for fun, for, serious, for I hate life, for I love life. Like, it's fabric. And yeah, I can't, God. Okay, maybe if I
So
really-
what's your favorite fabric then?
Oh, silk taffeta. Oh my God. You wanna
Oh.
bribe me? Silk taffeta is so easy to bribe me with. Silk damask. Oh, you really want to bribe me? I might actually do sexual favors for silk
Oh
damask.
yeah, there you go. There you go.
It's
Yeah,
gotta be
no.
really, yeah, it's
Yeah.
gotta be really high quality silk damask. It can't just
Oh
be
no.
like, oh, this is silk and it's damask. Like, fuck no, that does not work.
No.
Girl, I know exactly what silk damask is. Wool, a really high quality wool flannel is just like butter to sew with. Yeah. It's all sexual. I don't know.
The Lady of the Lake says, good to know.
Yeah. Well, she knows she can always bribe me with
Okay,
coffee, fabric.
this is the heavy hitter question of the night,
Okay.
actually. This one might cause a fight on the show. Should ice cream have nuts in it or not?
No.
Hard no.
Absolutely not.
Do
No.
not stick nuts in my ice cream of any type.
I am generally anti-nut in most forms. You sneak nuts into my cookies, like, fuck you. Also, if you sneak raisins into my cookies, fuck you. And if you put raisins and nuts in my cookies, extra fuck you. And you try to pass them off as chocolate chip, extra, extra, extra fuck you.
Oatmeal raisin is why I have trust issues.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. In my ice cream, weirdly enough, I am kind of agnostic about that because I have had some very delightful toppings on my ice cream that are like almond, shaved almond or crumbled peanuts or something like that, which are really nice on a sundae, right? Now, if you'd asked me about marshmallows in ice cream,
Oh no.
if you'd asked me about marshmallows and ice cream or nuts and cookies, we could have had a real fucking throwdown. But yeah, I'm not big fan of marshmallows in my ice cream, and not a big fan of my nuts in my cookies. But I switch those around, and I really don't give a shit. So
Noted. Okay, so since I got called out on it, before we go to the next question, and one, I would like to note that I totally stole Sassy's question. My apologies. I'm a little off. Like, I'm in
It's
a
okay,
really
baby.
good mood tonight. I just want everybody to know I'm in a super good mood. I'm having a blast on the show. I've got a little bit of pain going on, so I'm a little fuzzy right now. So I'm really sorry about that, guys. What would I change about the heraldic establishment in the SCA and why? Centralized, easy to access databasing for all the heralds and for knowledge dumps. So basically, I'm going to mirror the two of them in what they said and in this idea, because if we could centralize it, we could easily data dump and increase our knowledge and make it easier for the heralds to bring in new resources so we could then branch out. Second one, looking at outside the SCA, we are not a Eurocentric society anymore. So going with non-Eurocentric heraldry as easily registerable, even if it needs to be in categories. So you could pick like Eurocentric heraldry or African-centric heraldry or Japanese or Chinese. So being able to put those categories in, I believe, would again broaden the SCA out a ton more and give us a huge, like a vast, like knowledge pool to pull from. But that would also take volunteer hours. So it's going to go back to, we need to have a centralized database with the volunteer hours so that can actually exist.
That is a very good answer. Do we want to break for commercial and Tulia can run to the little Baroness's room?
It sounds like it is that time. So Baby Ninja, take us away.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! What are you doing? Do you like swords? Of course you do! You should check out my channel, The Wandering Sword Project. Who am I? Mistress. Why? Because I like swords. I also like things that are sharp, shiny, and strong. I also like spears. So make sure to check out The Wandering Sword, where we have other sharp weapons and other medieval endeavors to explore. Now back to Araya and the Between Two Peers show. You better be enjoying yourself, because I pity the fool who doesn't. And cut!
The Practical Viking strives to create well-researched, handcrafted items for all levels of reenactment. The use of linen, wool, and silk make our clothing and accessories comfortable for working, rowing, farming, and playing. We hand finish most of our items and try to bring our customers the best in economical Viking wares. In addition to textiles, we have toys and games, household goods, and jewelry. You can find us at practicalviking.com or on Facebook at The Practical Viking. Come see us soon.
Hey, you! Yeah, you! What are you doing? Do you like swords? Of course you do! You should check out my channel, The Wandering Sword Project. Who am I? Mistress. Why? Because I like swords. I also like things that are sharp, shiny, and strong. I also like spears. So make sure to check out The Wandering Sword, where we have other...
We're
Sadly,
live
we
again,
had to
and
cut
the
out-
Lady of the Lake
cut
is
out.
back. Fuck you.
I got private messaged.
What?
I got messaged by your fans.
She got private messaged by one of the fans. Helga, don't you have a question to answer?
Helga just answered the question.
I answered it. I would like to note that I'm keeping this sticky note is going on the wall of the Lady of the Lake.
By the way,
Yes.
you need to take a picture of all of the stickies around.
Yes.
It's everywhere. Like it's
He's-
on the
he's
whole
got
backside
all
of a
these
bookcase now.
Stickies, the little lady of the, but like there, a lot of them have to do with tacos for some reason. Anywhoosy, where were we?
All right, we're ready to
I
go.
think
Okay,
there's a question.
so Miss Sassy, would you like to reverse the order since I stole your
Sure,
last
I
question,
will-
or
I will read the pink letters and you read the blue ones.
okay?
Normally it's the other way around, but it's okay. It has to be like one of us will fuck it up at some point. So, oh wait, are you switching them out?
I'm just changing the letters. I'm just.
Oh God! Oh, you're putting the S in. Okay, not the color. All right. So, from Eric of Two Ravens, what is the oddest kingdom tradition in your kingdom? And part 2, what is the oddest kingdom tradition in another kingdom?
Oh God. Trying to think. So I live in Calontir. We have. I'm trying to think of like the oddest tradition. Oh, I've got one. So we have an order called the Feared. It is our AOA fighting level award. And it is probably one of my favorites, but it's still very odd. A new Fearedman is brought into, or it is the Erin Feared. So our armored combat. They when they receive their Erin Feared, they get dogpiled on by the rest of the order. It is one of my favorite things ever. Like they get dogpiled on and then their majesties hand them their scroll so it doesn't get ruined. But that's probably one of the weirder things, but I love it so much. It is very much a Calontir thing. As for other kingdoms, I think Glenavan's Aw Hail on everything is just, it hurts my head sometimes. And because it's said in a southern accent, it comes out, Aw Hail. And, it is adorable and funny and it's delightfully weird and I love it.
Helga. Oh wait, do I have to answer that question? No,
No, you asked the question, so I answer. It's like, remember, we're swapping the order now since I jacked this up.
Watch Sassy and Danger Muppet completely like lose their little furry minds trying to figure
off the rails now. We are just off the rails. Weirdest kingdom tradition. I'm trying to think of like so I grew up in the West, so I'm like, what's a weird tradition in the West?
I'm having the same problem.
I mean,
I will point out that as someone who lives from outside the West, hearing the fighting field referred to as the Eric is still really
God, we
weird.
have
Really
really
fucking weird.
That actually is totally. I'm stealing that.
That's a good one. Damn it! I wish I could.
Stolen. So everywhere else calls the list field, and it's actually there's a movement in the West to try to do that. And so like I get corrected all the time about it because it's the Eric ropes, the list field, and it just turned into the Eric.
And even if you talk about it being the ropes, it makes no sense because it started out as a weird like in joke with one of the early groups and it just stuck.
Okay, the West is one large in joke. Okay?
It is really.
Like really, that's what we are. We are one consecutively long in joke that just turns into tradition. That's it. There's the weird.
That's actually very accurate for the West.
I
think you just literally mic dropped the entire West Kingdom right there.
Don't get me wrong, I love my kingdom.
Yeah.
I'm loving your color correction, by the way. When you pick up your cup, your background goes lighter.
Really?
And then it like clicked. It was doing that really like weird thing. It's like my color correction with my orange coat. See, there it went. It's just...
Now I'm trying to watch it. Anyways. Okay.
Yes. Anyways, outside of the kingdom, oddest tradition. I mean,
I bet you're gonna pick the one I would pick.
I'm actually trying to think. There's not that many odd traditions, because like most of the outside traditions I find really cool. Like some of them may be shocking, but I'm trying to think of like odd
Baby Ninja in the background, like doing jazz hands, right?
Odd outside traditions.
Come on. Do you need help? Do you need to phone a friend?
I need to phone a friend here.
Okay,
Baby Ninja, save me.
Now that the whole stream can hear me,
it's the squires wearing chains, fealty chains.
Oh yeah.
There's
That's
one
not
other
something
one.
we do here in Calontir.
Wait, I got another one that will make her stop. Meridia's kills off all of its crowns.
Helga.
Oh yeah, you guys do Meridia's does Regicide, and that's
I so love Helga's face right now. So the Regicide tradition in other kingdoms and the squires wearing fealty chains in other kingdoms. Here is all the toe beans getting touched. So
Drink toe beans.
I love
it. Squires chains are so weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
I live in a kingdom that a chain belongs to a knight. And that's weird given that we're a child of the mid-realm, because that's very much a mid-realm tradition, and we don't do it. So
you guys are in like a weird position though. Calontir is like right down the middle. Right down the middle.
Oh yeah, no, we are so via media, it's not even funny, and I love it.
Yeah.
We are both like, which is weird because we are very much a traditional type of people, but we also we're very much traditional in the sense that we didn't write anything down, or if we did write something down, we've changed it somewhere along the way. But we've taken a lot of just weird shit from our, from the mid, and then went, no, we're not going to do it this way. So we are the rebellious child. So
I'd say so weird traditions in our kingdom. I absolutely have to Helga's little rant there, and now I am watching like, oh my god, every time I raise, it's my hands are the one that's doing it. Maybe
you're just so white, your color correction is changing.
I think it's my ring light was off, but anyways, so as Helga was saying, like, we have a shit ton of weirdnesses that don't exist anywhere else in the universe except for in the West Kingdom. But I am so indoctrinated into the West Kingdom, I don't even really like notice that it's weird. Like, I guess a good example was where I was talking about the get out of jail free card, where we give our new peers the option of now it's color correcting and I can't stop fucking watching it. Fuck. But I'm going to toggle away from that screen and just finish my sentence. That the okay. Sorry, having a moment here.
It's not between two peers about a camera right now. Fuckery.
There's some stuff going on in the background that is extra distracting me right now. But there's wow, you guys get to see Baby Ninja's pretty face and not mine. Hey girl, hey. But for me, yes, the get out of jail free card, I assume that was across the board in the society. Apparently it isn't. And that's how I feel about a lot of things with the West Kingdom, is apparently it's not a thing anywhere else. And I'm super like, wait a minute, that's weird. But yeah, I like the idea that the West Kingdom was one long in joke that just went on too long. so good. That was really, really good. What was the second part of that? Oh, the traditions in other kingdoms. Every other kingdom has weird ass traditions. Yeah.
Sorry, there was two of me for a second, so I just had to dance.
And I'm just gonna keep talking. But I think every other kingdom has like weird ass traditions. You're all doing it wrong. That's not true. You guys are doing it. You guys are doing it your way, and that's beautiful. Yeah. Also, though, in the West, and that's actually where the joke comes from. And I love you all so much for drinking for that. The joke comes from the fact that, like, no matter what, the West Kingdom will 100% tell you that it's the West Kingdom and you're doing it wrong no matter what you're doing anywhere else in the world. So we're taking the piss out of ourselves. All right. Next fucking question. Jesus Christ. Get me off of this.
Hey, that's my turn. The color's just different.
Yeah, right. We switched colors.
So this question also comes from me.
Okay.
Has a pandemic changed your view on the SCA award structure? Why and how?
I prepare for the salt. So the answer is my kingdom has not been doing virtual courts. We have not done anything. We have been in a state of suspended animation, which has been really tough. Meanwhile, I've seen the SCA the SCA veil become very thin. I've done events literally in 5 or 6 different kingdoms. I've done things. I was part of a gender bent cast of Henry V, which was awesome. That was primarily an East Kingdom sort of thing, and I did that. I've done stuff with Meridies. I've done stuff with Trimaris. I've done all these things, and I'm of the thought that now's the time that we really need to start looking at what people outside of our individual kingdoms are bringing to those kingdoms. So if you've got there are lots of kingdoms or lots of baronies that have friend of awards. We need to be able to start handing those out. We really do. And inviting people to those courts with, hey, we see you, we know you, we think that the service you're doing or whatever it is you're doing is incredibly valid during this time period. Because again, the SCA hasn't died. The SCA hasn't even really gone to sleep. We're just less visible about it now. Or we're more visible online about it. So like I said, I would love to see more of those outside. We think you really need, and we need to, it feeds into that whole volunteer kudos thing that we're really bad about anyway, in my opinion. So
I have to beg off for a second because my computer just completely spazzed. What was the question?
Oh, the question is, has the pandemic changed your view of the SCA award structure?
Oh,
why and how?
I feel like there should be, I agree with a lot with what Constantia said. But I also want to, I don't know, it's hard for me because every time I try to think about how I would restructure the award system across the board, not just in the kingdom, but across the board, like my brain is like short circuits, and I can't articulate the way it needs to be restructured. But there does need to be more awards that transfer internationally, essentially. Yeah, not just the peerages, not just your AOA. You should definitely be able to have like an SCA level arts award that isn't a peerage. Like that would be cool. SCA fighting award that's not a peerage. That would be really cool. Like where you could go anywhere in the known world and you could do anything and you could be recognized for the thing that you did. That would be hella cool without having to explain to people, I have a rose leaf in the West Kingdom. Well, what the fuck does that mean to anybody? Like that is not a thing that means anything to anybody outside of the West Kingdom. I have
a Herald goob like me who
keeps track of the shit. Manch in the East Kingdom. Like those things are major awards. They're actually really high achievements, but we don't have a recognition system that says, unless you're dialed into all of that little nuances of all of the kingdom's awards for that level or that thing, you're not going to know what that is. And, so it would be cool because the peerages get that, the peerages and the court barons and the AOA level, we can walk into any event anywhere in the known world and be recognized for that thing. But if you go past that a little bit, you get like that one thing further. That's all very dependent on the kingdom, and now we have to explain things, and it's a whole thing, and nobody really gives a shit. Like, that would be cool if we had a way to just be like, well, this is the society level achievement for this thing. So, and now I'll try to log into all of my shit again. Sorry.
So how the pandemic has changed my view on the award structure. So I would like a kind of cross SCA like understanding of what each award falls into categorically, especially if we had that on the society website. Like, these awards are all matched across kingdoms. Like these all relate to each other because each kingdom needs to retain its own identity with the names that they have. The value and the weight they carry, we can actually kind of centralize and use so the knowledge base is there across kingdoms. And so we have a comparable structure, which doesn't get rid of the old structure. What has actually changed for me is I think everybody that is a peer should be a knight.
Yeah, I have long believed that. Like, this is actually where Amtgard is a
Yeah.
little bit more successful at it.
Yeah.
And that is, everyone's a knight. They are a knight of like the serpent. They're a knight of, I can't remember half of them. The dragon or something like that.
Yeah, well,
And-
it is the equivalent of like Knight of the Chivalry, Knight of the Pelican,
Exactly.
Knight of the
Yeah.
Laurel, Knight of the Defense. You know, like we could restructure and we could take a note from.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could take that and run with it. We should have done that originally because that's actually the period way to do it.
It totally is. Yeah, absolutely, totally is.
We could retcon everything.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be great. I think it would actually be cool. And I think a lot of the issues with the nuances of titles when it comes to the peerages, like that stuff would suddenly condense and we would have an easier time with trying to figure out, you know, what these individual titles actually mean. I don't know. If I could do it over, and I've said this before, if I could do everything over in the SCA, I think that would be like the number one thing I would tackle is I would change that. Yeah.
Well, you got everything restarted, Miss Sassy?
Yeah, I did. I got everything restarted. So yeah.
Shall we go to the next question?
Sure thing. This is from Kay. We all are feeling you moved your cursor and it suddenly it was like blocked out half of my text. We are all feeling the drain of the pandemic on our fun in the SCA. What keeps the spark going for you?
So like I said, my kingdom's not currently doing we're doing virtual events. Like there's the Calontir clothing challenge. There's we are holding a symposium tomorrow, actually. And like, so I'm still teaching classes, you know, especially when they're asked of me, or, you know, as much as they're asked of me. I'm still creating art. I'm still researching, and that's keeping some of that alive. Getting a chance to participate. Like I said, Henry V was a lot of fun, and I miss my castmates. Love you all. But yeah, that's what helps keep the spark alive for me. There are times where it's really tough. I will be the first to admit that the first 3 months of the pandemic were great for my SCA stuff because I did a bunch of blank borders, scribal work. But as it wore on, it got harder for me to do art. It got harder for me to deal with, the concept of I'm not going to see my SCA friends for a while because, again, we're not holding virtual, we're not doing virtual courts. We're not doing any of that. So for me, it's a little harder to deal with that. I just got back into doing scribal because there's something about Christmas that does it. Who knew? So.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I keep doing art, so I've got enough of a backlog that I'm just like I'm getting to crank through my backlog. I'm down to about half the shields I owed people, and I need to get back into doing shields. So like I will like burn myself out on a project, and then I pick up another project, and I like burn myself out of that style of project. I'm just getting back to where like there's a shield that I'm like, bet you I could finish that in a couple days. But mostly it's actually like the online interactions and the online information exchange within the SCA has increased by orders of magnitude. The divides between the kingdoms have decreased by orders of magnitude because we are having to interact as a huge group without any weird barriers. We don't have you need to get in a car and drive 15 hours. You need to get in a plane and fly somewhere, and then I'm in some other kingdom. It's like I log on to a Zoom meeting. And so that's what's keeping me going. And there's a hope within that experience that when we get back together, many of those weird old blood rivalries that we've all been taught but do not understand will be broken, because we're having to interact on a new plane and a new existence without some of that like weird kingdom level fed like rivalry or like square off against another kingdom. And I'm hoping that when the SCA comes back together, we're actually going to see a healthier, larger community that has a better information exchange than we did before. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. So that's one of the things that keeps me going, is the future of the SCA is actually bright. And I really want to be there for it.
Same thing. Same. I mean, what keeps it going for me personally is I don't know. I can't imagine the SCA not in my life. I've been in it as long as I have. Was young when I joined. I'm a lifer. It's a lifestyle. I can't imagine not having it. And that keeps me going, is the idea that I don't want it to die. I now am the establishment. I'm the man. I am a peer. I am a court baron. I am all of these things that when I started, little punk rock Sarah, yes, drink, you can go ahead and drink. Punk rock Sarah joined and wanted to be like, fuck you all. I don't bow to the crown, like, fuck off. And then slowly but surely I realized it came across to me that, like, this actually means stuff. This is stuff that's important. This is not just a pretend. And I think that was the difference where I realized, and maybe this makes me I'm like starting to sound like this is like cult territory. But I want to say that the wonderful part about the SCA is that it's not pretend, that these are real things to real people, and these mean things. This is meaning. And so I don't want to see the SCA go away because it has meaning to me. How do I keep it going? How do I keep that energy going? That is a harder question to answer, and I'm still looking for it. Every single day I wake up and I'm like, ugh. And I say all the time, that this show is one of the reasons why I still feel enthusiastic about the SCA, why I still want to keep going with the SCA, other than I don't want to see it die and all of that stuff. And this is the only thing I can do, which is have this, ridiculous show with one of my best friends and have interesting people on, and we all get excited about it. But it is really a hard thing when you just have to wake up every morning and all of the things that you looked forward to in the coming year are gone, erased off of the calendar. You're not going to go to Pinzik. You're not going to go to Estrella. You're not going to go to Crown. You're not going to go to, the Croston Ball because it doesn't exist. And those were the things that for 27 years of my life, I have set my calendar for, like every year. Well, I know that's happening this day. I know that's happening this weekend. I know the 2 weeks for this, for West Ontier are off the calendar because we're going to be at West Ontier, and that's all gone. And it's hard, and I don't have an easy answer for that. I just don't want to see the SCA die. I don't want to see it go away. That's my answer to both of those questions.
All right, well, we're ready to roll on.
Yeah, do it.
This one comes from Carmack.
Oh, God.
Tell us about a time you brought someone in on a project that you were doing for them without them knowing it.
Oh, so this is very pointed. I was head of the unofficial humor wing of the College of Arms, the College of Herald's Imaginary. And much like the real College of Arms hands out an award called, or it's not really an award, but it's a recognition called the Herald Extraordinary. It's like the who's who of heralds. I'm a Herald Extraordinary. My title is Greek Fire. It's awesome. But I decided to reflect that, and I created the Herald Insanity because we're all a little wonked in the College of Herald's Imaginary. And so I knew that I was going to give Carmack this award, and I said, hey, Carmack, I need a scroll text. And he's like, why do you need a scroll text? And I'm like, well, I'm going to make someone a Herald Imaginary, and I named someone else, someone completely different. And he's like, okay, sure, I'll get that done for you. And he wrote this fantastic scroll text in really bad dog Latin. It's awful. And yet, like, the best thing ever. And he went, if this is for me, I'm calling it now. And I said, and I lied completely. No, it's not for you at all. And I proceeded to do the scroll, which happens to be this giant golden papier-mâché bear that's, that I painted in gold and did all that sort of thing. And I called him up, that Known World Heraldic, the very same where I was screwing around in the elevator. And he looked at me and he glared and it was totally worth it. So yeah, that is, I brought him in on that project and he went in front of God and everyone, I called it. And I'm like, did you? Did you? They don't know that. And it was fantastic. It was probably one of my favorite things to do to Carmack. So
That's
sorry.
awesome that you got to get the jump on him.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
So my art is really, really dependent on A, personal taste, and B, your body. Like I can't really fudge a lot. Like once I've made a bunch of shit for somebody, I kind of know, and I can surprise. But I am really somebody that where my art, I need to know your dimensions and I need to know your preferences because you're going to wear it. And that is a highly individualistic and really important thing. If I make you something and it fits, but you hate it, like that's, I guess what I'm trying to say is I can't do surprises with my art. Like my, clothing being as individualistic as it is, being as, dependent upon the size of the person, their fit preferences. I can't just whip something out and send it along. So I don't actually have an answer to that question because I kind of refuse to surprise people with clothing. I mean, unless it's a cloak, and I've never done something like a cloak. If it's clothing and it's my art, which is my art, like I can't like just surprise you with it. So, and it's actually awful because what I'm trying to do, this is not a surprise anymore because I started a tunic for my boyfriend for Christmas because that's the tradition is, you always get like a 12th night, a new 12th night outfit. But as my SCA inclinations led me to make something for my boyfriend for his for 12th night, which is coming up or would be coming up in like a month. I got to a point where I had, I have his measurements and I've assembled everything, and I realized I needed to actually put it on him to mark his mark the collar. And sure, I could have just wung, right? That's the past participle of winged. Anyway, I could have just tried to eyeball it and make something that it's a really individual thing. Like, where do you want your collar to hit you? Some people have a lot of issues with it coming up too close on their neck and they, don't like that. You go too low and suddenly it's no longer, a tunic. It's something you have to wear over something else. And I had to make that strategic decision to clue in said boyfriend and be like, I made you this thing. I was going to surprise you with it, but I kind of need your input and to put it on your body to finish it off. And so that's the bitch about my art is that you really need the body. You can't really surprise somebody because it's a very individual thing. That's my answer.
So I surprise people with gifts all the time and like fuck with them about it. It's my sport. And especially like art wise, like if you're sketching something, you can send it to a person and be like, hey, I just want your opinion on this. Like, I really want to see like the layout. I'm doing it for this person. Like, and you could fucking make up a name at that point in time. And then they'll give you their personal opinion on the layout without ever knowing. But they're going to give you their personal view on it. So it's going to personalize it to them. And so like the Scythian stamps that I've done a couple of them as like surprise gifts. I've done some shields as surprise gifts where I was just like, hey, I need your opinion on this. I really don't feel like this layout is working. Like, what does your eye tell you? And they'll be like, well, there's like this and this, or like maybe I would do this color here. And I'd be like, thanks for the intel. And then like apply that to the gift. And then it's just like, and wrap up and package and to them. And they're like, you motherfucker. And so I really enjoy doing stuff like that. Or you like find it where they're like walking through Merchant's Row or something like that. I'm like, oh my God, I really like that thing. And I'm like, let me crowdfund this thing real quick. I think so. Really, I don't get to make a lot of them, but I crowdfund a lot of them. And I think my favorite in that is Duke Morgan's helmet. His helmet was definitely seeing some love. And he had a helmet that he was just like, oh my god. And so I talked to Dungal and I was like, look, I'll just outright buy this helmet as a gift for him, but I'm going to see if I can crowdfund it. And we ended up having like 35 people pay into it, and Dungal sold it. They like, look, I sold it out from under you. I'm so sorry. This person just had cash. I needed the cash. And then we spent the next 2 months harassing the shit out of him. Like, just, oh my god, I couldn't believe you were too slow to get that helmet and everything else like that. It would have been perfect for you. Like, and he was just mad. And then we all handed it to him, and that was emotionally satisfying. I believe there was a moose tear.
I love it. I love it. It fits into my brand of shenanigan. I personally hate surprises happening to me, but I love surprises, being in on surprises.
And that was the thing where I realized after I gave my answer was that I hate surprises with me. And that is one of the reasons why I'm really twitchy about surprising other people unless I know exactly their dimensions, their likes, their everything, because otherwise I'm super afraid of disappointing and then being like, oh, you made me this crappy sweater, and I'm like, I poured everything into it. So yeah.
All right.
Sassy, I believe the next question is yours.
Okay. I'm finishing a comment. Okay. Excuse me while I finish the comment. I'm gonna go with our last question. I'm gonna call this our last question. This one came from Bjorn of the North Sea. Other than your own arms / badge / motto / secret society, parentheses, all hail the quote splendiferous spangled sprite sprinkle spewing sprites, end quote, in parentheses. What illegal / unusable / reserved charge / heraldic display best describes you? That's hard to follow.
All right, Bjorn. Sure. So reserve charge. Well, hey, get ready to drink. I would probably say the coronet, because bling. The coronet is reserved to anyone who has a coronet. And well, Byzantines and bling, and everyone drink. So, but
oh my
no,
gosh, we didn't drop bling more. Like, we didn't get any blingy bling or blingish.
No, well, I thought about But yeah, and here's where I just like go bling 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 bling. But no, like coronets. I can have one now, but for the longest time, it's just like, wow, that would be like perfect. Except that I can't. Except now that I can. So, but yeah, that is probably what I would. Byzantines, bling.
Oh God, I have so many answers to this question.
Oh my God, all the vodka was at the bottom of this cup.
I was wondering why you were so restrained the whole time.
So I've actually gotten messaged a couple times before I answer the question or anything else like that. I've actually gotten messaged a couple times. Yes, I'm okay. Yes, I am absolutely enjoying this show. My pain response is different than most people, so I didn't realize I was in pain until about halfway through the show when I had gotten the 5th message of "Are you okay?" Because I was apparently being very stoic looking. And very like reserved in my like demeanor. And I will tell you that I have absolutely adored this show. Apparently my neck hurts way more than I think it did. Because the one thing is that like when you don't, because of how I'm having to type and continue to work, I'm pulling all the muscles in the side of my neck. And
it wasn't because you got wrenched when you were.
It might have been because I'm wrenched. I'm not showing classic whiplash signs. I'm showing pretty much classic muscle guarding signs because I'm having to hold my arm out to work. Which by the time we're done, I should be ripped on this side.
Yeah. 3 weeks from now.
3 weeks from now, I'm gonna have a gorgeous shoulder. I'll just show up in like a tunic or a sleeveless tunic for the show and just like show off my massive shoulders.
Hey girl, hey.
So I just want to tell everybody I'm actually okay. I'm really sorry if I have been a little stoic in demeanor tonight. I apparently am very sore, including the fact that my lovely husband during the break walked over with painkillers and was like, "You need to take these right now." I was like, "But I don't hurt." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you do. I can tell you fucking hurt, you idiot." So, but back to the question. So I just want to say thank you so much for the outpouring of love this evening. It has been amazing. And thank you guys very much for caring. And I hope that it hasn't taken away from either both Sassy or I just was about to botch your name.
Konstantia.
There it is. Sorry. Like I wanted to just like, I realized my brain went like, I got this. No, I don't. And so I hope it hasn't taken away from your guys' experience of the show. I've actually been having a blast with the conversations.
Oh, this has been so much fun.
I just wanted to say, like, they weren't like, oh my God, how do you even deal with Sassy?
No.
Like, God, she's so fucking tedious. How do you do this every week? That's my fear.
I log on and I read questions with you and we have fun with a guest.
I mean, that's every week though. That's like my secret fear is everybody's wondering, how do you deal with Sassy? Because she's so fucking tedious. But
you're good.
That's my insecurity. I will take that away.
I'll give you my Thorfinn thumb because right now I feel like I have a Thorfinn thumb.
It's this like weird little thumb.
Little weird thumb that doesn't stick up all the way. Okay, so to answer the question,
okay,
what would my own arms be? So actually, my terrible arms are registerable. Thank you, Carmack. So, and I'll give you a little bit of backstory, heraldic backstory here. So originally, I wanted a black horse head with a gyrony background, red and white.
And before gyrony is the
gyrony, it's excited. And before the heraldic rules were changed, gyrony and quarterly were combined.
Right.
They counted it as the same thing, so they were not a point of difference. And so my device bounced off another device from a dude that's dead. That I couldn't get a letter from. Basically, like he's not dead. But he had a full black horse on a divided background with a red and yellow versus red and white. So it bounced and I was just like, okay. And so I walked to my friends that were heralds at that point in time, who happened to be Loy, who's amazing. And I said, I need you to make this device pass so you can add like a border or whatever else that happens, because if it bounces again, I'm going to register a goat head raggly with one goot underneath. Because for many, many years I got called Goat Killer.
Yeah, you were Helga Goat Herd? No.
Yeah, Helga Goat Strangler for a while. Like I never took the name on. That was the nickname given to me by Fergus because he walked in as I was breaking a neck.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, you know what? I'll pass this device. And I would probably say that to this day, that device probably describes me super, super well. But I would have to put like a cock and balls on it somewhere.
Oh, you have to. Then you're getting into the SCA resume.
Yeah, then I'm getting into the SCA resume, and I would have to have those done in like brass. It would have to be a brass set of balls on there.
Well, there is no brass. It's only ore. It's only gold, right?
It is only gold. But
that's fine. I'll register it as gold
anyway.
I'll register it as gold, and then I'm just gonna paint it as brass. I'm gonna take that artistic license and put a set of brass balls on there.
Gold balls though. They're better than brass. Gold balls.
Although Helga, you do bring up a really important point, and that is heraldic wills. If you're, that is something that I want people to think about. Is
that's a good shit. Yeah.
Fill out your heraldic will. Feel free to contact me. Feel free to contact a herald.
So actually, my living will has my SCA name. It releases my SCA name and it releases my device.
But make sure that the College of Arms knows that too, because otherwise,
so all my family members know, and all the contact information is put in there. So hopefully I won't die anytime soon.
But here's the thing: is as long as the College of Arms knows, we'll put it on record, basically saying that hey, this.
So
is
they don't have to contact.
Where can we send that?
Contact you. What?
Where can we send that into?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You. So you would send it through the same process that you would any other submission. It is you're going to send that in literally like you would an armory or a name or a badge or any of that. And it could literally be It's a letter. You literally send a letter.
It's
Like
literally just a letter. It's like, dear College of Heralds, if I die, release my name and arms.
yeah, or you can designate it to someone else.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's totally a thing. And
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, you can release your arms. You can say, hey, you can release them to or not release, but you can transfer them to this person. They'll accept it, that sort of thing. So yeah, fill out, everyone do a heraldic will.
So Carmack just chimed in on the comments. He said there's actually a form, and I said,
yeah, there is a form.
Where's it located? I need to know about this.
Yeah, So yeah, and that is a free thing. That doesn't cost any money, which is great.
So honestly, it's in the administrative handbook. I have to go dig it out of the administrative handbook. Here's why we need a fucking website with all this shit that just you need to do your will, release
heraldic will. Click this link. Yeah, no, we totally get it.
I'm already searching for all of the things. Anyway,
that said, feel free to talk to me. Feel free to talk to Cormac. Feel free to talk to your.
I'll follow up with you later, Constantia. It's cool.
Yeah, that works. We'll get it done. It's great.
It's all good. Yeah. What was the question?
We've gotten distracted. Yeah.
Other than your arms badge motto, secret society. Okay, what illegally? Okay, I wouldn't say it's illegal. So I have two things. One, I mean, maybe it is illegal. I don't know. I haven't read the handbook. I think the thing that would actually if I could have it on a coronet, all my points here replaced with middle fingers, I totally would.
That'd be great.
I would so do that. And I probably could because, who cares what's on a coronet?
Right. We're not registering it. Yeah.
And on every single middle finger, there will be a pearl at the top.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. Actually, now I've got an idea for a new coronet.
Hey, wait, me too.
We can be twinsies.
Yes. I love it. Let's do it. I've needed a new coronet. We will totally do that. So yeah, middle fingers, if I could place in a middle finger and just be like, hey, fuck. I love how Araya can still, sorry, I used your mundane name. God damn it.
Damn it.
Normally I'm better at this, but yeah. The middle finger. Let's see. The other one though is kind of my personal favorite, the vagina dentata. We can make this happen somehow, but we can't actually make it happen the way that I envision it.
Right. You kind of have to slide that in a different way.
Yeah. So, and the motto, I like my motto. I like Lorem Ipsum Dolor Sit Amit, because I really feel like that actually embodies who I am, which is literally just put your text here. I don't know what's happening.
Insert motto here.
Exactly. Insert text here.
That'd be great. Is have someone translate insert motto here into Latin. Totally now.
It is, but Lorem Ipsum.
I know. It already is. It's great.
Well, so one of the best things about that though too is that my first name Tulia is the name. God damn it. Roman naming conventions are really hard. So what I'm trying to say is that it's actually
ask me how I know.
Lorem Ipsum Dolor Sit Amit is taken from a shit. Now I'm completely
I know where it's from, and it's not. Damn it.
It is. Somebody chime it the fuck in and save me from this. I've said it on another one. It is
it is from Cicero.
And his first name was Tullius.
Yes.
His daughter's name was Tulia. And actually there's a whole cool side story about Tulia. Her grave was discovered in the late 15th century, and she had the eternal flame. She had a somebody had lit a lantern in her grave and it was still burning, allegedly, when her grave was discovered in the late 15th century. And so Tulia, as a result, became a very kind of came around again as an Italian name. But so Lorem Ipsum Dolor Sit Amit being Cicero, it's kind of gibberish pulled from a Cicero treatise. God, I feel like this is really fucking tedious. Sorry, guys.
No, I again used to do graphic design. I also like in a very, very past life, I used to edit shit. So
Yes.
I'm all like, this
Yeah.
is great. I mean,
That's right.
again, sans serif, come on.
I love you guys. And I love everybody in the chat. It's all like Cicero, 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 Cicero. Come on, Tulia.
Yeah, I just got a text with Cicero. So
I love you all so very much. My brain just literally was like, bye.
So with that, shall I wrap up the episode?
Thank you for being the adult in charge. Sure.
I got you. So with that, now that we're through the questions, do you have anything else you want on to say in the wrap up? Like, do you have a shout out?
yes,
Content?
yeah, I've got check out my Instagram. It is Kaloethina on Instagram, and check out my blog kaloethina.wordpress.com.
If you will send me both those links, I'll make sure that they're posted on both the Discord and on the Facebook page.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one more thing that I would like to plug is I'm also on Zazzle and Redbubble. So I will also send you those links.
Do so. Actually, we had somebody ask about your Zazzle.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Then yeah, I will definitely. Spice Sprinkle.
Yeah, Constance does some amazing artwork on Zazzle. I mean, in general, if you want to wear some cool shit, yeah, definitely. We'll be totally posting that. And also, they did the Spice Sprinkle, our little Spice Sprinkle donut. So you can get the Spice Sprinkle donut on our Redbubble site.
I was about to say, she made us an amazing Spice Sprinkle.
I love doing that. I really did.
There is Spice Sprinkle bling. Fucking go check it out.
So yeah.
Stabby donut. So, Miss Tulia, do you have a shout out?
Not this week. No, womp womp. But
Womp womp.
all of you that are putting your content out during this time, and you know, I've been very like just very much turned in this week. And so I haven't been like branching out and watching anything. But if you're putting your shit out there, I applaud you, go you, and I'll probably find it this next week when I'm less of a sad bastard. You wouldn't know that by this show, by the way. Guess what? Every single time Tulia is like, crazy, it's usually because Tulia has been a very sad fucking week in like sad Tulia land. So
I'm sorry, it's been a hard week.
it's been a shitty week, but whatever. You know what? We're all good. We made it to Friday.
Shitty week, good show.
And I love you fuckers so much. So
so my shout out is to one, Ask the Knights, because that is our sister show, so we always need to shout out our Leo and what he is doing. I am seriously impressed with his continued efforts and conversations. Also, I would like to note that it's a little bit of an ego project since I was on the last show about franchise, which was nerve-wracking. I felt like a college student.
You did great.
So the next one that I'm going to shout out is check out the Sisters interview. They're amazing. I'm really enjoying the content that's coming out of Sisters interview. That's the Murder of Dukes, Branch of Laurels, Sisters interview. Like it's one big thing, and there's multiple shows underneath it. I'm super impressed with their content. I'm really loving getting to know people from across the known world. And then I'm going to tell you, actually show up to your local I want to say online court. It's the wrong one. It's virtual courts. Show up, support your royals, support the people getting awards. This is just like us. We're having to adapt in a pandemic, and it's a really hard thing to do. And I realize that there are times where we're like, we don't want to sit in a virtual court. But it means something to those that are getting awards and those that are recognized, and continue to give your renown to their award. It will mean something from years to come. They will remember that you were there. And so be the impact now, so later on when we gather, we can continue to make that momentum and make those stories around each other.
Also, I want to chime in. We forgot to name Calbard and Calbard's Corner that has like everything going on at all times. He's got so much fucking content. I can't even keep up with it. So, yeah.
And super fun to super serious on Calbar's Corner.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I'm going to remind you all that next week...
Constance. Nope. Constance didn't get to name there. Like.
Oh no, I totally did.
Oh, you did? Oh. Shit.
I mean, I'll plug one more, and that is go to Brackish Baroness. That is my friend Anna's store. She's on Etsy.
Perfect. Oh.
Also,
okay,
again, send us that link. We'll make sure it's posted.
Right. Gotcha.
Also, how does she not have a commercial on the show?
I know. Anna, get on it. Write a commercial.
Wait, whoa. How do you not have a commercial on the show?
Because I haven't gotten it together, and I need to. So.
You know that you just have to fill out a form and send in a couple photos,
I know.
Right?
I know. And I need
Cough.
to.
Get it
all like
done. Cough.
Okay.
You have now been on the show before you've had a commercial? Like, really?
Okay, fine. I will fill that out.
So
self-promotion is hard, man.
It's
this is how I'm promoting for you. Fucking fill out the form.
All right, I'll do it.
So with that, I'm going to say next Friday is going to be another awesome show. We're going to have Casca on, who is going to be a delight. And he has actually specifically asked for part of the show to be focused on newcomers and recruitment.
Ooh.
So send in those questions, send in your thoughts and feelings. We will try to address some of the stuff during the show. Also, I can guarantee that one's going to run long. Promise you that. Also, that man knows how to mix a stiff drink, so hang on for that ride. So last words are like, share, and follow. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for your continued support and love. Come hang out with us on Discord during the week and show up for the next show Friday.
Yeah, we're here every Friday until we're not.
Yep. We love you all very much, and thank you for continuing to show up.